Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Brew with Memli, and today we are releasing our new limited geisha coffee from Panama. As usual, I'm going to give you some background about this coffee and why we picked it, and then we will dive into the brew. So, this coffee has been brought to us by Manuel Gonzalez and Creativa Coffee District. Creativa Coffee has created this platform, this space for coffee producers in Boquete to innovate, try things in terms of processing. So they really give this state of art, this black canvas, to allow producers to kind of draw on it. And not just coffee producers, but also artists, right? And you actually have real actual artists and coffee producers collaborating in order to create new solutions, new innovative and creative solutions for this ever-changing market and world. And that's how those coffees were born. And when we tried those coffees, I really had the art in mind with different colors and different textures and different sort of mixtures of colors. And here we have Manuel Gonzalez with his farm Rio Caldera growing a geisha variety at 1,350 meters above sea level. So an excellent variety and a very strict picking practice. Here the cherries are picked ripe at 18 degrees approximately, and not anything below a pH of 4.5. So that strict sort of guidelines from Creativa Coffee allowed Manuel Gonzalez to really produce excellent cherries. And then at the processing station at Creativa Coffee, he could do different thing with this coffee. Then you can really take it on different color. And here we pick the static cherry process, which is an anaerobic natural for 60 hours on a still tank, and which give us a really mixture of this terroir variety taste as well as that more fermentation and creative aspect of the flavor profile. So you will find some tropical notes, some berries, as well as dates and cherries and cocoa. Let's now focus, before we focus on the brew, the roast really quickly. It's quite a light roast and a short one because those anaerobic coffees tend to get darker quicker. So I had to really shorten the roast, be a little more careful on the gas, and I have only about 50 to 55 seconds of development time. Let me get my water and let's talk about the recipe now. So I am using a flat bottom dripper, but it also works well with cone shapes. And make sure you really pre-rinse and preheat, especially if you're using ceramic, for at least like 100 and 120 milliliters. Our recipe is quite simple: 12 grams of coffee for 200 grams of water. Our water sits at 90 degrees. It is a quite soft water with 50 parts per million of alkalinity, 50 parts per million of magnesium hardness, and 25 parts per million of calcium hardness. Our grind size is slightly coarser than usual. On my Deeding, I'm at 8.25, so it's about 825-ish. On your Baratza, that will be somewhere around 18 and 20. On a Comandante, I will suggest 27 to 28 regular clicks. All right, and I'll suggest to wait 1 week of degassing for this coffee. And so the inside is really light. And we're gonna start with a first pour of 50 grams. Here we go. And we are looking for overall brew time of 2.5 minutes to 2 minutes 45, 3 minutes. If you go over 3 minutes, you may lose some of those delicate tropical notes. If you go below 2.5 minutes, it can be a little bit too sour. And here my bloom, I only leave it for about 35 to 40 seconds. But I tend to let the coffee bloom a little bit more to really saturate those grounds and let them breathe out. All right, my second pour of 50 grams here. And I really love this transdisciplinary approach to coffee, because that's also how I view the coffee industry and how I approach at Memli Coffee Lab. I got inspiration from a bunch of different industries, and I try to pick sort of the best of each industries and apply it to coffee. That's why our sourcing philosophy starts with the end in mind. We always start with an emotion, a place, a thing, and then pick flavors and source a coffee based on that. And that's how we picked this coffee. I really wanted a more, almost like a canvas or artsy coffee with different colors. Flavors can really be associated with colors. That's why in our bag, you may see different lines and different colors. Things like yellow, with probably more associated to citrus fruits and brightness, and things like brown and orangey, probably more like sugary, cocoa, chocolate, mapley, etc., etc. And so here you will really see different colors, different shades of red, mostly, ranging from the strawberry, cherries, some Medjool dates, which are really dark red, and some rambutan, which is on the lighter tropical version, and then on the finish some cocoa. And allowing farmers to really participate to this new market of high-end specialty coffee is really something I like, and nowadays I tend to really prefer having an impact at the farm by helping the farmers not just on the flavor aspect, but also allowing them to have access to this, different market. And we have like all those geishas and those different varieties and processes that unfortunately not all the farmers can have access or know about it. And Creativa Coffee has really created this amazing platform to allow more farmers to do so. End time here, 2 minutes and 40. So we're kind of good. Let's give it a smell. On the smell, we have mostly a lot of strawberry, dates, and some tropical fruits. I call it here rambutan, which is almost like a banana-y lychee. Lychee is more intense on the floral notes, but a rambutan is a little bit softer. Oh, really, really, it's like an explosion of smell here. And you see that on the cup, you will find a really vibrant, but not bright or zesty acidity, just vibrant, just lively acidity, a silky texture, and a very lingering finish. Here I cool it down a little bit faster, even though I like to kind of drink it within 10 minutes. But for the sake of this video, let's just make it a bit quick. The first sip is quite strange. It's like an explosion of flavors. And sometimes you expect a lot of like fermenting note, but you don't find it here. You find mostly berries, like really strawberries and cherry. And you have this really sweet dates and notes to it, as well as some tropical fruit. And as it cools down, the rambutan aspect will show up a little bit more. Mostly in the middle, it's almost like you're splitting your tongue and you kind of lay some flavors onto it. And it starts with those red fruits. And as the coffee travels through your tongue, it showcases more of that dates, rambutan, and on the finish, you have really that cocoa, that high quality dark chocolate note to it. Excellent cup of coffee. So to sum up, we have here a unique geisha variety processed anaerobically for 60 hours by Manuel Gonzalez and Creativa Coffee District in Boquete, Panama. And our brewing structure is quite simple. I'm using here a flat bottom brewer and 4 pours of 50 grams. So total 200 milliliter of water at 90 degrees. So slightly colder than usual, and my dose is 12 grams on the coarser side of things. Try it while it lasts, and let me know if you have any question. See you next time for another video of Brew with Memli.